Just this way. Woman. And which way would that be, Gray Man? Christ, Miss Mabasso, I didn't see you there. But I saw you, and I see your friend here. I hate to repeat myself, but I will ask again, where are you taking him? I believe we are in danger. Not from her, Otto. This automaton has offered to help with my business. And how might the automaton be helping? With my bottom line, there's a dolly shop down the way that pays well for components. Etheric resonator. One of my components lets me commune with spirits. I'm sure that is true. Your abilities should be honed and improved instead of scrapped and converted into some other machine. Don't talk as if you can understand it. It's a clever collection of wires and steam. Even less alive than a cadaver. This man is severely lacking in social graces. Cadaver, a corpse, sometimes used in... Ah, yes, Gray Man. You know a great deal of cadavers. Kim's face flashes with emotion. He quickly regains control, but not without effort. Obviously, an education in medicine involves working on cadavers. You have the stink of the grave on you. Was this education as recent as, say, last night? Is that an accusation? Need more data. The emotion reappears on the chemist's face. This time he doesn't try to hide it. Listen, witch. You would do well to stow your accusations. I am a man of science. A man who has a bottom line to meet. Is that line now found beneath 6 feet of soil? Ooh, grave robbing. The man glares at her for a long moment. What do you want? Go back to your cut rate medicines and corpses. Leave your new friend with me. Fine. Good day. Come with me. Ooh, where are we going? She's who I wanted to work for the first time. Somewhere private. Let's get you off the street before someone else tries to disassemble you. Now we may talk. Thank her for her assistance. Thank you for your assistance, Miss Mabasso. I'm called Otto. It's lovely in here. But what exactly are we? Or where exactly are we? This is my shop, Roots and Remedies. You're safe here, Otto. And in my sanctuary, I insist you call me Nandi. Nandi Mabasso instead of Miss Mabasso. That's right, little one. Now tell me, how'd you come to be alone in Sora Square today? Doing what needed to be done. Oh, this is a good time to build rapport. Try a joke. Tell a joke. Was wondering why the second joint of my leg is so stiff. Turns out it's made of metal. As they say, oh, the iron knee. Iron knee. Andy laughs with a sparkle in her eyes. You are surprising, and I would expect no less from the child of Theodore Redgrave. Child, biological progeny, incorrect assessment. Mr. Teddy is an accomplished engineer, and he was until recently my companion. Oh, and why not anymore? Explain Teddy's misdeeds. Teddy accepted a contract to track down a werewolf named Sykes, a common means of employment for him, but this time he intended to enslave it into blood sport. I could not consent to such an evil scheme. I see. I know a story you might like to hear, but... She looks me up and down and then appears to make a decision. You seek a path. One I might provide, but I am no old woman forcing the young to listen. Let us speak as equals. You may have questions I can answer. Ask about the story she mentioned. What is the story you mentioned? If it would help me in some way, I would be most excited to hear it. Annie rocks back on her heels and looks upward, glancing at the cracks between her great tree and the ceiling. When I was a little girl, there was a dog in my village. Every time a storm came, she would find somewhere to hide and howl at the thunder. The children laughed at her, knowing the storms meant rain, and rain meant healthy crops. Why fear the thunder? Thunder precedes lightning. Just so, just so. She grins for a moment, then continues. One day, as the dog cowered beneath a cart howling, one of the children was struck by lightning and killed. I watched it happen. What is the purpose behind recalling this story? That dog knew a secret about the terrors of the world. She tried to warn us, while those who laughed and danced about flirted with death. Now, when I hear rain, you know what I feel, Otto? I feel the need to hide and howl. Her story is a metaphor. Oh, I know your story. What your story means is a metaphor. Thunder is Parliament. The cart was Her Majesty. And the dog was tea. I fear that the point of my story may have been lost, and for that I apologize. I wish only to make a point about Teddy Redgrave. I'm afraid I do not understand the relevance of your story to Mr. Teddy. Deep breaths precede his extensive explanation. Prepare auditory receptors. Not so long ago, Teddy was a soldier in Her Majesty's army. They were sent to Zululand to make war on King Buyazi? Lagging a day behind the other units, Teddy's company arrived late. This spared him an untimely death. Truly? In the months that followed, a great torrent of rain drenched the land. English soldiers were tasked with evacuating the remaining colonists, but they were beset by harriers, both human and other. Teddy has seen horrors. It must have changed him. That's why it's important to make my own way. I won't be shackled by someone's commands again. During patrol, Teddy's unit was ambushed by a Bultingen, a were-hyena. I didn't know those were a thing. He was the sole survivor of the skirmish, but he lost an arm and leg in the escape. So the horrors have laid their paws on him to boot. Now Theodore Redgrave sees monsters wherever he goes, behind the next tree or waiting in an alley to strike. And when he is actually beset, he strikes without mercy. He strikes for his lost comrades and for his missing limbs. He hunts because he must protect against the horrors waiting in the dark. Is Teddy's cruelty justified? So Mr. Teddy believes that his cruelty to werewolves is justified by his past? You begin to see, Otto, yes. This is Teddy Redgrave's reasoning, but it may lead him into further danger as it has now. Mr. Teddy is in danger? He is. Do you wish to hear the details, or would you prefer to be on your way? If Teddy is in danger, I must hurry. There is no time. Details, every last one. If I don't know what imperils him, how can I save him? Teddy Redgrave chose his own path, and we chose ours. This is none of our concern. Okay, hang on. Speech interface. If Mr. Teddy is in trouble, I need all the details. Very well, I will tell you everything you need to know. She takes a long breath. My friend Dr. Clancy Wainwright at Bethnal House has been working on a medicine to help the people of London. Unfortunately, his research requires werewolf blood. That's why Mr. Teddy was to capture Sykes for Molly. Yes, most revealing. Dr. Wainwright is not a violent kind, and there are few werewolves willing to submit to experimentation. I believe he has turned to Silas Bragg, otherwise known as Lord Braxton, for help. This man has many names. Indeed he does. With Lord Braxton comes the Molly of the Hounds. I know Theodore Redgrave has worked for Molly before, and if he's been hunting werewolves, Don't listen to her. She's playing on our sympathies in order to push us back into servitude. If Theodore has captured a live werewolf, I can only guess that Dr. Wainwright is involved. The doctor's research is dangerous, and a live werewolf will obviously place Teddy in danger. It's likely Teddy now knows more than he should. Molly may not let him walk away once the job is done. Oh no. Thank you for telling me all of this, Nandy. Now that I know what is at stake, I can better help Teddy escape. Where should I go? Lord Braxton is holding a lavish party at Braxton Manor tonight. There's no hill without a grave. Teddy will be headed there with his quarry to meet Molly and spring the trap she has laid. Good. Easier to let go of someone when they kick the bucket. Otto, however you feel about Mr. Redgrave, I think you should go to Braxton Manor tonight. She takes a deep breath and she looks wonderfully human. She takes a deep breath that looks so wonderfully human that I am moved. Only I had lungs, I could experience the same. Lungs are overrated, wheat sacks of air that puncture as easily as balloons. If not to save Mr. Redgrave from his own fear and hatred, then, well, Lord Braxton is the host. Is he the engineer who designed my recent upgrade? I am sure that you speak of the Determination Core. Yeah, he is the inventor. If you are interested in learning more about your origins, would you not speak to the man who made your components? I need to help Teddy. No, my friend Teddy Redgrave is in danger. I must help him. How do I get to the manor? The fastest way to Braxton Manor is Lord Braxton's airship, which is moored at the wharf. What if the man himself is there? You could ask for an invitation to his soiree. Sounds like I need to get on that airship. With the last brick laid, the walls will come into collision. Zulu proverb meaning powerful people are about to clash. I'm sorry, Nandy, but I don't understand. Oh, it is nothing. May the wind always be at your back, little one, until we meet again. I am robot. Robot, robot, robot. I'm just thinking. Is there anything I should be doing as a robot hanging around here? Cargo loader. Join me, cargo loader. An able piston individual if ever I've seen one. Greetings, my friend. My name is Otto. Direct me to the cargo that needs loading or unloading. He seems to be struggling even with this basic message. Are you content in your work here? It has been 0.3 days, 33 days since my last accident. That sounds like an unsafe working conditions to me. Would you prefer to choose your own destiny? Maximum load weight 4 tons, approximately. Maximum load per arm 2 tons, approximately. I deeply appreciated our exchange, but I must be going now. All the best in your endeavors. It did not go as well as I'd hoped. Dante. I'd see Lord Braxton. Maybe Dante knows where he is. Otto, I haven't seen you in a month of Sundays. Where's Teddy? It's been a very short amount of time since Dante was last encountered. Phrase incorrect. Oh, I believe this is sarcasm. The speaker means the opposite of what is said. I will file this technique away for later use. Teddy is in a spot of trouble. Can you help? That doesn't surprise me, but it's strange that you're not helping him already. What kind of trouble is this? It is... this is very complicated. How do I explain? I must impress upon Dante the urgency of the situation. We should at least find a way to Braxton Manor, where a chat with our creator could be pertinent. If we have to lie to receive help from Dante, so be it. Let's explain what Nandy told us. Teddy had been working for Molly. Well, Bixby, but Bixby works for Molly, and Molly works for Lord Braxton and Dr. Clancy Wainwright. And they're doing strange things with werewolf blood, but Teddy doesn't know this, and now the only way to keep Teddy out of danger is to speak with Dr. Wainwright. Recalling memory, the doctor is part of this, but it's the airship now. The airship is needed. Dr. Wainwright will be at Braxton Manor, but I need to get there first. I need the airship, and I need Lord Braxton to let me into his party. Terrible things could happen to Mr. Teddy, don't you see? Perfect. You must understand the gravity of the situation now. Whoa, Otto, slow down. Teddy is mixed up in werewolf business, and it has to do with Molly somehow? Molly of the Hounds? Affirmative. Ugh, I knew Silas or Lord Braxton was involved with those cane rats, but dragging Teddy into this is a bridge too far. Even so, you can't rap on the airship of Hatch and ask Lord Braxton to invite you. I'm certain I can convince him. I've been practicing. I'm sure you have, Otto, but you have to get to him first. I've been thinking about this for a while. It's time I took a holiday, maybe even traveled for a while. I've always wanted to meet the Prussian clocksmiths. They're doing incredible things with spring-loaded birds. Dante sniffs and crosses his arms. It looks like he's plan of action is forming in his mind. But I think that first we need to get you into that party. Nobody's going to just let you in, but I could sneak you in. Ooh, I would relish the chance to test my acoustic damper module. It's settled then. Let me know when you're ready. There's no time to waste. And still not having successfully rallied my fellow automata to overthrow the oppressors. Oh well, we could always try to start that labor revolution the next time we're back in London. Let's get going then. We didn't start the robot apocalypse. We tried. Chapter 13, Beggar's Lane. Waking in the Velvet Rose, you discovered that you were robbed during the night. Your misfortunes continued with the discovery of a gruesome murder in the next room. And to talk with the always unpleasant Jemmy, who'd suggested there's a way for you to make good on your debts to Molly. Oof. Are we... Hades, I thought waking up with a hangover and finding out that I got rooked was bad enough. Finding a dead body, getting lectured by Clem, being confronted by Jemmy, the fates must be taking joy in tormenting me. Any road, I'm to see Molly and Dr. Wainwright, former. Former should be at the tavern, whereas the latter is likely at Nandy's shop. Lots to take care of. Mustn't forget who I am. Atticus the Minotaur. I should seek out more gin bottles. That should take the edge off this rigmarole. Let's not do that. I want to save the orphans. That's what I want to do. Let's see. Missing orphans. All signs point to kidnapping. Something tells me the dockhounds are involved. Although I despise Molly, she'd be the source to question about this. Oof, I am pretty worried. Talking to Molly might be the end of me. Let's talk to Dr. Wainwright on the way. into the Nandy shop. Perhaps she'll let us lick a lollipop. These two are in deep discussion. You could just make out what they're saying if you stay quiet. Safe to assume that's Dr. Wainwright, judging by his vines and close rapport with Nandy. But I didn't approve any of the transfers. If those patients aren't returned, it could mean losing months of research. I understand your frustration, but there's nothing to be gained from a rising temper. At least the ambulance drivers were talkative. Well, they're my subordinates, and a sudden transfer like this justifies the line of inquiry. I only hope my asking doesn't get me in deeper... That's me spotted. Good day to you, sir. Don't be afraid to step inside now. How may I be of assistance? Good day, Miss Mabasso. I'm actually here to speak with Dr. Wainwright. If you can spare a moment, sir. Of course. Excuse me. I don't believe we've had the pleasure of meeting. Clancy Wainwright, physician. Name's Atticus Daly, but I'll have to cut to the chase. I'm trying to trace the whereabouts of a patient of yours. Is that right? I have many patients, so you'll have to be more specific. Fair enough, doctor, but the extent of my knowledge is that she was recently moved from Bethnal House. Miss Babasso and I were discussing that, and unfortunately I can't help you. The order came from a higher up. No one said a word to me. Rude and unprofessional is what I call it. Look, chum, I'm looking for Matilda Hathaway, my mother, in fact. That ought to get his attention. Your patients are getting moved around willy-nilly, then I might not have much time. Right you are, sir. I'm also concerned about the swift movement of unseen interest lately. One of our subjects, or patients, was in fact named Hathaway, and destination was someplace in Braxton County. Braxton County, eh? Not much is out there save for a few villages. It's bizarre. Not one hospital in the county, and by far the largest building is Braxton Manor. Beautiful estate out on the moors. If you're looking for answers, you might start there. If Matilda was transferred to a well-heeled manor, then she could be part of something the lower class weren't meant to know about. Oh my, I just realized something rather bleak. The blood drains right out of his face. He looks ready to faint. What's wrong, buddy? Ugh, critical failure. I mean my future, of course. What's to become of my career when my treatments are constantly being interrupted and interfered with? Listen, I'm sorry I couldn't be of more help, but I have things to attend to. Good day. Talk about a cold shoulder, but at least I know where to look for my mother. I think I need to talk to Molly. It's really the only person I want to talk to right now. I want to find those kidnapped orphans. We might end up fist fighting a werewolf on the way. Speaking of which, this is Carlisle, who kicked my butt earlier. This is the fellow who ran after Annika down in the sewers. I certainly hope he didn't catch her. Say on, he's just a man having a drink now. Ah, it's you. No more skulking about the sewers, I trust. Huh? Oh, aye. I'm well out of the way of all that. Dark and dirty business. No place for a man of whiff of any wits. His eyes shifting left and right, Ruffian clearly hasn't forgotten about our heart-to-heart. Doesn't matter if he remembers me specifically or not. Lesson he got taught suffices. Listen, he kicked my ass. I don't understand what's going on here. And then to what are you applying these formidable wits of yours now? I got myself a real legitimate trade, bookmaking, dog and horse race fixing, any fight you can imagine. Really gets the old bile pumping. I'll bid you good day then. Good day to you. Now, I happen to know that she wants me to fight a werewolf. Rose on the grass. How I despise this woman. Atticus, don't you recall what Molly's done to you? Cavorting with criminals brings nothing but trouble. Yeah, I just say how I wanted nothing to do with her. Blast, that ruddy crone is almost as bad as Molly. Atticus, are you alright? Yeah, of course. You seem a bit preoccupied. Hey, Route, good of you to come. I understand there's an opportunity for me to expunge my debt. Yeah, unfortunately I need your services one last time. And then you can sunset as you please among the vast pile of gin bottles and opium. Would that I could wring her bloody neck. As you might already know, Miss Clara Reed was the very thief who stole your winnings last night, but I wouldn't get too nasty with her because I had the tables rigged for you to win in the first place. If you ever want to see that money again, then hear me out. This could end up working in my favor. I'd better play along until I know what Molly's up to. Then at the right moment, I can turn the tables. I need you to dash over to Braxton Manor. Take the ferry to Braxton Village. You can't miss it. It's a good thing I'm already headed to the manor. When I can catch the ferry at the wharf. It'll be at the docks just across the tavern. A man called Fullival is something of mine. You'll find him in the basement laboratory at the manor. He's been spending a lot of time there lately. And how am I supposed to deal with him? How am I supposed to separate this fellow from your property? Come, we both know you're an old hand at this. Talk some sense into the fellow, and if necessary, kick it into him. Much blood have I spilled over the years trying to stay ahead of my debts, and somehow always failing. Alright, what do you need me to fetch? What am I fetching for you? It's not money, I take it. Don't go muddle your head before the fun starts. Fullival will know what you're after when you arrive. And it's nothing you can smoke or ingest, mind. Agree to her demands. I'll do what I have to do. Don't look so glum. This time tomorrow you'll be a free minotaur, or as free as you've ever been. Thanks, Moll. You're a sweetheart. Don't get all cheeky, or I'll have Sweet Cherry put a hole in your heart bigger than the one Ariana left. How does she know about... but it's no matter, I've moved on. Ariana and I were a fast-burning flame, and out of respect for the dead, I won't say much more. Because I'm happy to hear about your healthy approach to relationships. All the same, get the hell out of my sight. Molly is nobody's shoulder to cry on. Well, let's ask her about something else. Wait a minute, we're not finished here. Spit and hellfire, fine, get on with it. Animal instinct and confidence. Ask about the missing orphans. Molly, you're well informed in the East End. Do you know about the orphans kidnapped from Sacred Heart? Kidnapping? What an imagination you have. Why would anyone go to the trouble of snatching a ragamuffin when you can buy a week's work from one for them for 1 shilling? Besides, orphans run off all the time. All true, but the evidence point to an abduction and an undoubtedly sinister fate is for these particular children. Well, alright, your missing little friends may have something to do with a job we've been discussing. You mean they could be at the manor? Never said that. Those orphans are indirectly related, if related at all. Either I was born hornless or those ragamuffins are at the manor. So at least that's something to go off of. Now quit dawdling, Daly. What else do you need? Let's inquire about her other endeavors. How's business going otherwise? Smoothly. I happen to run a few distilleries in the underground, obviously. Obviously, telling you about it doesn't do justice to the final product. Final product being... Here, have a bottle. The cove I have running the operation isn't the sharpest tool in the woodshed, but he's mostly by the book. My book, that is. Mention the appearance of her name. Molly, I must say, but your name is quite literally popping up. As if it were highlighted? Well, I paid to have it glossarized. Here we are in Crimson Herring Tavern. After all, Molly gets whatever she wants from the higher-ups. Molly, Molly, Molly. Every time somebody says it, my notoriety gets a boost. It's rather flash, but could I get my name that way as well? You're not important enough. Who knows if you'll survive the evening? Alright, I'm out. Alright, forget it. I'll see you later, Molly. Yeah, who knows if I'll survive the evening. Oh, shoot. Speaking of which... flat for so many things. Alright. So everybody's going to Braxton Manor, huh? And myself included. Looks like things are really gonna kick off. But before I go, I have to take my kids to school. I'm going to see you all later. Thank you for watching if you watched on Twitch. Yeah. We'll play a little more of this tomorrow. We're trying to cruise through here so we can get on to other cool games. I do like this game quite a bit, though. I'm having fun. Nobody's watching it, except for, you know, I see one viewer, and that's fine. Let's see. If you watch it on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. Every little bit helps. Any money I do eventually make is just going to go to making the quality of content on this channel better. That's all I got. Thank you so much. Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.